Hello guys, so you can't be on this page and not be someone that isn't knowledgeable about a lot of things, because I often post and make many of my posts to be educative posts. But there are some people that follow this page that don't know things that they are supposed to know. And one of the things that I find strange when I see some comments on my page is that I find it strange that if you are following a page like this, you do not have a clue as to how important herbal medicine is. Okay, so I will just give an example. Okay, so yesterday I posted something about the king of England. After he got a diagnosis of prostate cancer, he said he wasn't going to take chemotherapy, that he was going to do plant medicine, that is herbal medicine. Now, a lot of people, when you say herbal medicine, because there is a certain mindset about herbal medicine that, oh, it is just something that is a crude form of medicine, is not effective, it is local people that use it, it is this, it is that. What you need to realize first and foremost is that if you open, let me just use this as an example. If you open something called a pharmacopoeia, which is a collection of all the pharmaceutical drugs in existence that are still being sold currently, 40% of them are still being manufactured from plants. Yes, 40% of them are still being manufactured from plants. That is, people go grow the crop, harvest it, extract the active ingredient from the plants and sell as a drug. Now, the number of drugs that have their origins from plants, they are very many. They are almost, if not close to 95%. Why I say 95% is that I don't just mean the drugs that are being produced from plants currently. I mean the drugs that were produced from plants that were modified into what they are today. These are like semi-synthetic drugs. I also mean the drugs that they took their inspiration from chemicals or plant chemicals. Yes, so there are certain plant chemicals that if you isolate, maybe it's not very potent, but there are ways you can tweak its chemical structure as a synthetic chemist to create more effective drugs and more potent drugs, or maybe a drug that has less side effects. I'm going to give you the example. So aspirin, as you know it, aspirin actually started out as something that was derived from a plant, salicylic acid. Now, salicylic acid, which is the parent drug of aspirin, was derived from the bark of the willow tree. So they were extracting it from there, but salicylic acid was very harsh on the stomach, so they tweaked it. That is, they modified it to make it less harsh and more potent to form aspirin, which is acetyl salicylic acid. Nowadays they don't produce aspirin from willow tree bark anymore, because synthetic chemists have been able to figure out a way to synthesize it in the laboratory. So it is now fully being synthesized, but as a drug, its origins was from a plant. Understand that? And I'm going to put a lot of a list of common drugs that you might know in the caption of this, and their origins, which is plant origins. Now, concerning cancer herbal therapy, I'm going to tell you a story that somebody that my supervisor, not somebody, told me, and it is more or less like a secret. There is a Nigerian man who was doing a lot of studies with bitter leaf. So when he was doing his PhD, he did a lot of studies, cancer and bitter leaf. So he went to the US to do a postdoctoral fellowship. So when he got there, he continued his research. And now when he was in the laboratory running his experiments and everything, his the person that employed him, the person that owns the lab, the person's wife had breast cancer. So he approached them and he said, let's try this my drug from bitter leaf and let's see how it works. And lo and behold, it was so effective for the woman. It cured her breast cancer. And from the moment that happened, this man stopped publishing his work online. So if you get online, you are going to see a lot of his early papers, early research papers. But now when they realized that this was a potent anti-cancer drug, not just that, it had no toxic effects. It had no toxic effects like chemotherapy where you will lose your hair, your organs will start packing up and all that. It had none of that. So they have been working quietly on trying to patent it into a non-toxic herbal anti-cancer drug. So when some people were commenting on that post that I posted yesterday, and some of them were saying, oh, it's possible that they know something we don't know. Well, there are lots of things we don't know. This information that I am sharing with you was something that very few people are privy to. In fact, the research is top secret. Okay, you can't know what it is they are doing. Anyway, so that's just the thing. And this guy, because of all the experiments they did, they found out that the bitter leaf grown in Nigeria is the only one that contains the active those active compounds, anti-cancer compounds. So guess what? He went and bought a lot of land in Edo State, where he's from, and they are shipping bitter leaf out of Nigeria every blessed day. So for people that are surprised that the King of England said he wants to use plant medicines to treat his cancer, I find it strange that people are surprised, especially if you are following this page and you know how powerful herbal medicine is, and you have been watching a lot of the educational posts or reading the captions and educating yourself on herbal medicine. So that is it. So that was why somebody commented, and I, sort of put that through, and I told somebody, I said, if you know, you know. All those people that will look at herbal medicine and say, it is for local people, it is this, it is that. Guess what? Almost all the drugs you are buying in the pharmacy came from where? The same herbal medicine. And guess what? A lot of people are creating herbal medicines for things like cancer, and they are raking in billions. Imagine the potential. That's why I'm not surprised if the King of England says he was going to use plant medicines for cancer. I'm not surprised. Who knows what they've discovered? So for those people who are ignorant, well, you can just be saying, oh, well, he's this, they don't know what they are doing, this, that. There are many things that plants can do. You just need to know and be aware.